There's a lot of slogans in 12-step programs and sayings. There is. Some of the ones are pretty good, other ones annoy me. And one of the ones that I've heard in the past that come out of 12-step programs is this one. When I talk about my family, I talk about my brother, my sister, whoever it is, if I talk to somebody in confidence or I talk to somebody just generally at a meeting, they always say this, you know, Terry G, they don't have a program. And in the olden days, I used to say, man, you're a genius, man. You're right. They don't have a program. You're a genius. And then as I mature in life and I look at my life and I look at the 12 steps and I carry on, another 10 years or 15 years, I say to myself, yeah, they don't have a program because they don't need a program. They don't need a program. A lot of my family, yeah, I used to not get along with them very well in the olden days and early recovery, but things have changed. But I don't look at most of my family like, you need a program. Maybe a few of them do need a program, but the majority of them function quite well. Been married over 40 years. Some of them lost their husbands. They've functioned well without a husband. They've carried on their responsibilities. They're quite respectable. They have integrity and they're great people. They function very well in life, day-to-day life. Do they need a program? I don't think so. I don't think so. And in early recovery, a lot of us try and we have those resentments against people. And I had the same resentments against my family, I ran that resentment wheel, that grindstone right to the the max, resented them. I tried to cut them off. It's hard to resent them so much that you don't want to see them. People are just wired like that. I don't care if you don't see your family for 5 years or 6 years or 20 years or 50 years. You're still wired to them. It's just the laws of nature. It's hard to cut off your family. I get it if they're pedophiles or, they're highly abusive people. I understand that. There's certain ranges until cutting them off, right? But I've tried all that. It doesn't work. My family's a pretty normal bunch of people. So this is my opinion of it. This is the way I look at it, right? Is that when it came to my family, my brothers and sisters, I have 3 brothers and 3 sisters. There's 7 kids in my family. Both of my parents have passed on. And by the way, when my parents passed away, our relationships were pretty good. Thanks to recovery. Just wanted to throw that in. So I have brothers and I have sisters and I have friends. When it comes to my friends, I know I don't have the emotional baggage and the emotional ties to my friends, but I put them in a lower expectation bracket, right? I listen better with them. I talk to them better. I'm more understanding with them. All those sort of things are because they're friends, right? We're not so attached. Well, maybe some friends you are attached to, right? More than your family. But anyways, just for example, just for the sake of this video. But when it came to my family, when it came to my brothers and sisters, I put them in a higher expectation bracket. I put rules on them unknowingly how they should treat me. They should be more understanding with me. They should be kinder. They should give me stuff or whatever it may be. But the expectations on my family were much greater than my friends. And I'm going to tell you something, that's very unfair. It's very unfair to put those expectations on your family. They don't even know it. And I was doing that. And the second thing I just want to point out before I conclude the sort of my point of view of it, is that my family may not be perfect, and I get it. But one of the main reasons that dysfunction's even there is because we all grew up in the same madhouse. We grew up in the same crazy home, all together with the same dysfunctional parents. And those parents, like it or not, they put buttons in us. You know what I mean, right? Triggers, buttons, whatever you want to call them. They put buttons in them. And I feel that my brothers and sisters unknowingly push my buttons. And I push theirs. And that is very simplistically putting it, but I believe it. I believe it. And I'll tell you why. Because I went to counseling, I've been in recovery, I've done all this kind of stuff. And let me tell you something, I've worked my ass off trying to get better and feel better. I get it. You don't need a program because you're not a crazy lunatic alcoholic like I was. You're not that. But you still have the same triggers from childhood that I have. So when it comes to my friends and it comes to my family, I need to lower my expectations. Not so much that they cross my boundaries, but I have to understand where they're coming from. I have to understand that and give them the same love and tolerance that I would somebody in a 12-step program. Okay? Sometimes it takes time. It took me a lot of time to understand what I'm telling you, to put it into language. It took me a long time, but I've been able to do it. Let me tell you something. I'm not chummy with everybody. I don't see them a lot, but I'm not angry anymore. I'm not resentful at them anymore. I'm not. I'm able to see my family, my brothers and sisters, exactly the way they are. They're just like me. They're human beings with flaws, problems, stresses in life, trying to do the best they can with their kids, with their work, with their retirement, with their all that kind of stuff that I do. And I have to have a better open mind and lower my expectations and not think it's always about me. It's not. It's not. Okay? My upbringing wasn't the best. And I don't care what anybody says, it wasn't the best. I came out with a lot of issues, and why can't I think my family did that too? And I'm not saying, if they're highly abusive or pedophiles or they're stealing from you, they've done horrific things to you, you have to deal with them. No, I'm not saying that. All I'm trying to say is that in an average, dysfunctional, normal family, I feel that we have to cut each other's slack and understand that everybody is doing the best they can. No one's against me. My family's not out to get me. But the one thing I know a lot of them don't need, they don't need a program because they're functioning to the best of their ability. Okay? I hope that makes sense. If it did, leave a comment below. If it didn't, leave a comment below. But can you all do me one favor? Can you please subscribe to my channel, Alcohol Free Life? What I do here is I build awareness about alcoholism and living one day at a time without the use and abuse of drugs or alcohol, okay? Please subscribe, please hit the like button. And as usual, I'll see you next week. Ciao for now, bye-bye, and remember, one day at a time. That's all it takes, is one day at a time. Ciao, ciao.